because you and I know bad estimate is the fastest way to sink your company. It's the fastest way. I'd rather have people be sick. I'd rather have people quit. I'd rather have people not be there and have a labor shortage problem than have bad estimates, because that'll deep six my company faster than anything. A beautiful day. I say that all the time and everybody probably gets sick of it, but if you're awake, if you're alive, it's a beautiful day. Come on now. There's a lot of people that wish they could be doing what you're doing. So stuck up in a hospital or stuck up somewhere where they're having some real bad luck. So yes, beautiful day all the time. I am having 3 trees taken out, 4 trees lobbed off. I have a little mini orchard, at my property, and it was just time. It was time to move out some trees. The amount of carnage tree trimmers can do inside of an hour is unbelievable. I wish my company could get that much done inside of 1 hour of a day. I literally had this big yucca tree, and I said, I don't want the yucca tree here. I don't want the Mexican fan palm here, and I don't want this Brazilian pepper. 1 hour, decimated, gone, game over. It is just barren land. Man, if I could just sit there and look at that and go, I want a set of channel letters built now, and an hour later, they're just sitting there. But how amazing is that? So definitely awe-inspiring how fast they can grow through something. And then the wood chipper, hey, let's not get close to that thing because that thing means business. But it was awesome, very awesome to see. And the house has already taken a whole new shape, and I'm excited to plant new plants. So all kinds of fun. We have been deep diving into what has happened lately over at my sign company. We are going backwards in time. We're trying to see what we did right, what we did wrong, and frankly, focusing on what we did wrong, because that's where the real lessons are. As always, if you're going to spend money and not get a rate of return, you're going to get a rate of return on the teachings of what it told you about your company. It's your job to pay attention. It's your job to listen to your company and listen to the books to learn the lessons that it's trying to teach you. If you lose money and you didn't learn anything, 2 things are going to happen. You are going to spend that money again. Lessons not learned are doomed to repeat themselves. And also, you just wasted a good learning experience. So diving into it, this is the thing that we have found most often in my company. So I'm going to share them with you. Hopefully it'll spark some debates between you and your estimators. And you might not step in the same pothole that I've already stepped in. So when doing an estimate, now I'm only talking about the estimates done inside of Square Coil. If you're not doing your estimate inside of Square Coil, I'll say a prayer for you later on, because you probably have no clue what your real costs are or what your company actually costs to charge for that. But that's your problem, not my problem. But if you ever do get on the Square Coil, you're going to see that's going to really open your eyes. So the first step, as always, is your materials. What materials do we need to build this job? What raw materials are we getting together? When you're about to build a big, crazy Death Star from the Legos, you got to gather all the Legos to build that perfect Death Star. Same with us. We got to get those raw materials in here before we build that sign. After we get the raw materials in here, we got to figure out who's building what. Is my CNC department going to build it? My metal department going to build it? My vinyl and graphics department, the paint department, assembly. We got to figure out what departments are going to help build this until we get that proper sign. Now, everybody has their great artistic ability. And let's not lie. How cool is that we're in the signage industry? I always pause for a second and say, we're building art. We're getting paid to do art. It's awesome. I never want to lose that enthusiasm. I never want to lose that excitement, because that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. So we get the raw materials. We get the different labor departments we want. Are we having any machine costs? We're running these machines. We need to recapture the costs. We're not giving away that machinery just for free. So we capture some machine costs, and then, of course, the buyouts. Are they outsourced buyouts? Are we going to charge tax on these things? Is it installation? Is it on-site work where it's non-taxable? Which way is this going to go? And we're going to gather all these pieces together for an estimate. That's your estimator's job. Salesperson's job is to tell them all the different ways that this job could go sideways. Hey, we're 50 feet from it. It's all lawn. We can't use the truck to get there that close. Sprinklers are a problem. Nasty vegetation. Whatever that case may be, the salesman's got to give them a nice clear picture, or literally take a picture and show the estimator what's going on. Then once the estimator's done, it's time for the reviewer. Now, if you're a good company, you have two reviewers. You have your actual estimate approver person, which is usually the owner of the company. They got the most at stake and they've got the most experience historically. And then the last person to touch it before they quote it is the salesperson. Look over it one more time. Take a look. See what it's all about. So step one to any estimate is 2 sets of eyes before it actually leaves your shop. I know it sounds tedious. Sounds like a pain in the butt. Why are we going to have so many people look at it? Because you and I know a bad estimate is the fastest way to sink your company. It's the fastest way. I'd rather have people be sick. I'd rather have people quit. I'd rather have people not be there and have a labor shortage problem than have bad estimates, because that'll deep six my company faster than anything. We're actually literally working to go bankrupt if you have a bad estimate. You are working to give your money away and all your valuable time. So bad estimates could be the death of your company a lot quicker than anything else. So as a reviewer, and that's the hat we're going to wear today, the estimate reviewer's hat, what are we looking for? What are we trying to do? Well, the first thing I want to do is dive into documents and photos inside of SquareQuill and go, what are we looking at? What artwork is here? What are the photos of the building? What notes from the landlord or sign criteria were given there? Making sure that we hit all those marks. Let's make sure everything looks good. Now that I have a real good picture, I look at the designs. How did we do it? If they're 18-inch letters, there's no reason to have a 7-inch deep channel letter. You can get away with 3-inch. If you're really skilled, 2-inch. You don't need 5 inches anymore. We don't need that 2 inches of gap for neon. That's an old thought process. LEDs are 3 inches away from the face to get nice glow and illumination. So those are the little things we want to look at. Make sure the designers drew it up correctly. Now we're going to get into the simple stuff. The simple things that bite us in the butt because they're so easy that we think somebody else did it and we look right over it. We have vinyl as materials. We look over at the vinyl graphics department. No time. Is the vinyl going to magically put itself onto the sign? As much as we wish, the answer is no, it's not going to. So we have vinyl, but no vinyl time. Happens all the time in the paint department. We look at it, it's got to get painted. We put 3 hours for one color in the paint booth. And then over here, we won't put any paint. No hardener, no reducer, nothing. So we got paint time and no paint. Silly error, but how expensive are those gallons of paint? They're super expensive. The fastest way. I mean, your paint department is probably the most expensive department you have other than the installation department. So if you don't put any paint time, you're literally just giving the paint away for free. I don't know about you. I live in a for-profit world. I like to make money on my investments and my time and energy that I put in there. So definitely something that we want to do on that one. I'll take a moment to talk about SquareQuill here. SquareQuill has been powering the signage industry since 2011, and we're only growing bigger and better and stronger every single day. Some of the latest updates have just made my life a lot easier. I'm sure it's going to make your life a lot easier. So if you haven't checked us out, go ahead and get on our website, squarequill.com. Take a look. And if you have an outdated key, an old software program that's going to be closing its doors this year, definitely take a look at us because we can make that transition real simple for you. Take a look at squarequill.com. Size of the sign. This is another one that we came across, we looked at, we realized this is not working for us. This is something that we got to think about long and hard. If I have a 6 foot by 6 foot monument sign, that thing is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I got to get my forklift over there. It's not just 2 people to pick it up. Maybe it's 4 to 5 people. Maybe we can pick it up depending on what stage the monument sign's in. There's some logistics that are going to go on with that sign in my shop. Now, when I go to move a 6x6 sign, what am I going to do? I'm going to call my friends over. They're going to stop what they're doing. They might have to wash their hands, come over, get ready to pick it up. Then I say, okay, where are we moving it to? And they kind of have their ideas on how to move it. And we all talk for a couple of minutes on how we're going to do it. And then we all sit down, we stretch a little bit, we grab the sign, we pick it up, we move it around, we set it back down, we look at it, and we go, oops, it's not exactly where we want it to be. Let's go ahead and reset this. And then we move it around again. When the estimator was designing how to build that sign, he looked at the metal department, he goes, 32 hours, 40 hours. But he never thought of what it takes to go from one side of the sign to the other. Never thought about how many men it's going to take to move it. Can the forklift even get over to this metal guy's area? All those little things are going to add up and they're going to bite you in the butt. And next thing, what you thought was going to take 40 hours is now 52, 55 hours. The size of a sign is going to get you. I got another one. We just did a gigantic high rise on the East Coast, 33 stories up, somewhere around there. And what happened was they wanted a 75-foot illuminated underscore. An underscore. Little illuminated bar. Sounds simple. We built channel letters for years. Not a problem. When's the last time you did a 75-foot underscore? I'm going to tell you right now, we've never built one that long. I highly doubt hardly anybody listening to that show's ever built a 75-foot underscore. But yeah, we looked at it and said, we treat it like a really big channel letter. That was probably the dumbest move we have done in a long time. That underscore, which we thought was going to take 18 hours, took us 160 hours on how we're going to fit it together, how we're going to have it connect, how we're going to have support straps, how we're going to make this 75-foot underscore be perfectly straight and level so it didn't look like a weird ass, sidewalk with a bunch of tree roots growing underneath it. It made it all off level, but it's a perfectly plumb underscore all the way across. And it's right underneath channel letters where your eye can catch any inconsistencies in that underscore. Had to be perfect. And it had to be break down into 8-foot sections so we could get it into the elevator. Now, how many hours would you have put for that 75-foot underscore? Because I'll tell you right now, I underbidded so badly. I wish it was never on the drawings. I wish I could have just given the sign to them, that underscore. At cost, I still would have been better off than me losing my rear end off an underscore. So size does matter. I don't care what tells you what, size matters. The unknown factor. And we're kind of piggybacking off the last one. If you've never done it before, there's going to be a lot of thought process. The bigger and the crazier the sign, the more thought goes into it. If it's a gateway sign and there's going to be people underneath you, the logistics are going to be rough. Where are the people going to go? Where are they going to walk to? You never thought of. How deep is that hole going to go? It's above 6, it's more than 6 feet. You got to have tractors dig. You can't hand dig it. In fact, I think it's 4 feet now is the new rule. Unknowns are going to bite you, and you need to put enough time and energy into thinking it through. If it's big and it's unknown, even more time. How are we going to get it down there? How are we going to get it off the truck? How's the truck going to get out of the road? How are we going to pick it up and place it? All those things take a lot of time. And if you have flaggers to control traffic, if you have men that are there on the straps for the wind straps, for the sign called taglines, those things take time and thought process. The guy doesn't walk up there, just tie off on that tagline and hold this guy pulls it off. They're talking, where are you going to stand? Where am I going to swing to? How's this going to happen? The logistics are mind-blowing, and if it's an unknown, add some time to it, because they're going to chew through your hours very, very quickly. Logistics. Moving the sign from your shop to its final resting home. Are you shipping it across the country? Can it fit on the trailer and be underneath the 14-foot height maximum that we have? Do you need a lowboy? How are you going to pick it from the side or the front? Do you need a soft carrier so they can fold their trailer back, so to speak, and put it right in there? All these crazy things come into play when you're trying to build big signs. These are the 4 things that we looked at that really kind of bit us in the butt historically. If we were to take the bell-shaped curve of all the projects we lost, what happened and why, it really fell down to unknown, logistics, size of the sign, and then the simple basics. What it was, vinyl, no vinyl time, paint, no paint time, channel letters with no assembly time. Like the LEDs are magically going to appear inside the channel letters. All that little simple stuff that sounds funny right now, but we've all been there and we screwed up and didn't put hours in that department. 2 reviewers is definitely best. That definitely protects our bottom line the most. Estimating, that is a true art form in itself. Yeah, we might make art, but being an estimator, that's art in itself. Appreciate you guys' time. I'll talk to you next week.